Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your spirit guide message reading for you for being overwhelmed, overstressed, and having obstacles to overcome. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Oh, and if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so very much for doing so. So let's see what the cards have to say in this very overwhelming time in our world. And whenever this reading finds you is the exact moment you're supposed to hear Spirit's message. So angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. All right, Libra. We are crowned here. Oh, you were crowned with the Four of Swords. I say oh because Cancer was also crowned with the Four of Swords. So if you have Cancer in your chart or any connection with a Cancer energy, check out that reading because it's very interesting when the cards are in the same place, especially since I meditate over these cards and shuffle them like crazy before we even start. So here with the Four of Swords, Spirit is saying, be mindful of resting. Okay? Be mindful of resting. Be mindful of getting enough sleep. This is going to be a time where you have a lot that you're downloading, right? A lot that you've been through. So if you could get to bed earlier, I know that it is so hard. If you're like me, you might I don't know why, but ever since I was little, like I didn't like sleeping. It's not that I don't like being asleep, like that's great, but going to sleep, having to end a day was always a thing. And it still remains like, oh, I don't like it. So here with the Four of Swords, I'm just seeing like, oh, I don't like it. And I get that. I do get that. So here, if we look at it as I'm giving myself time to heal and I'm connecting with the healing of my body, my soul, and myself, that is going to be very powerful. There's a part of you that awakens while you sleep. And that actually, okay, I like this. It's like you talk to angels. And I like that for you, Libra. That is absolutely beautiful. While you sleep, you talk to angels. And that's just astounding. And that is so I haven't seen that before. Like Spirit is giving that message just for you, just for right now. And it's like, wow, that's extraordinary. And that part of you that is awakening by that connection with your angels. It moves us then to the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is change your mind, change your life. We can look at the cups that have spilt, and we can spend our whole life looking at the cups that have spilt. And what has happened with the cups that have spilt is the wine is gone. And we could be really upset. That could be really expensive wine, right? And we can think, oh, I can put it back in the cup. Well, it's mud. Who the heck wants to drink mud? So be mindful about this during this time because with part of us being overwhelmed and overstressed is that we're looking at everything and we're seeing what we're not doing. And it's like, well, but if it could only go back, like if I could only change it, we can't. Turn around and see the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is healing, beautiful love. The Two of Cups is power and tenacity and brilliance. And that's what we're embracing here. It moves us then to the Knight of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, if we have not strong, but if we have water sign energy in our chart, that comes through very strongly during this time. And if we have water sign energy in our life, we are moving forward in what we love, but also in healing. This is going to be a time, Libra, where your ruled by Venus energy is just going to show. It's just going to shine through because, well, you know, sneak peek, you're ruled by Venus, right? And it's like saying here, let your heart guide you forward. Let your heart embrace what you love, embrace what you desire, embrace what you need in your life. Let your heart guide you. There is so much chaos that you're rising up out of during this time, and you're connecting with what you love, and you're going to need to be guided by your heart because there's also a sense of like, I don't trust my heart, right? I don't trust it necessarily. But Spirit's like, trust it, trust it. It moves us then to the Ten of Wands reverse. This is going to be a time, and this has been a time where we can find ourselves having a little bit of a hissy fit, a little bit of a temper tantrum, which is totally fine. Temper tantrums are not only reserved for toddlers. Okay, we have them throughout our whole entire life. We just handle them better than toddlers do, hopefully, right? So with the Ten of Wands, we're releasing a lot of burdens, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, but we're putting it down all at once. There's going to be something here where it's like, I'm not carrying that. And there's such a strong visceral reaction to it. It's like, I'm not carrying that anymore. just not doing it. Absolutely no. So being aware of this is going to be super powerful because it feels like it came out of the blue, but it didn't. It's been building for a really long time. You're coming to a completion of a cycle too, with what you will carry and what you won't. You've also been saying, oh, when I'm good enough, right? Oh, when I'm good enough, when I've learned enough, when it's perfect, I'll be able to. And this is going to be a time, ooh, sorry, I just kicked my mic. This is going to be a time where it's like, it'll never be perfect. And you're coming to that realization. It will never be perfect. I have to just do it. I have to just go for it. I have to just see. It brings us then to the 7 of Cups. This is our dreams. This is our dream and our passion and our fire and our love and our joy. And these are the dreams that with the 7 of Cups, these are the dreams that we've had when we were really little. When we could be astronauts and cowboys and, you know, lion riders and find Narnia, and all those things were possible. And so with the 7 of Cups, we're looking at our dreams again. We're taking our dreams off the dusty shelf and saying, hello. Hello, sacred part of me. Hello, deepest desires. It brings us then to the 5 of Cups. It's interesting that right after our dreams, right after we say hello to our dreams, our poverty mentality comes. Being stuck out in the cold, being the onlooker but never the participant. We are going to see that during this time. The part of us that says, I want to, but that was never meant for the likes of me. I was never meant to be successful. But I have too much responsibility. I have too much I carry on my shoulders, right? And that could also be the visceral reaction of like, no more. With the 5 of Pentacles, it is being out in the cold. It is having a place of refuge where you don't feel safe in, or you feel overlooked. This is needing to connect. This is looking at our prosperity, at money or what we value as much as money, and saying, but I'm worthy. And I know that I am worthy. And this is going to be a time where we need to reclaim our wealth, because we're looking at things and it's kind of like, it's almost like feeling we've been cursed, right? It's a real sense of, I can't have this. Look at my family line. Look at where I came from. And even if our family line and where we came from, people are like, ooh, that's a good pedigree. Like, what are you talking about? We can look at it. And it can also be something from a past life self where it's like, but I can't have that because I'm not worthy of that, because it's something that we inherited from a past life that made us feel like, oh no, I can't do this. So just be mindful. It's always sneaky how I can't can creep into our lives and manifest in our existence and feel like it was a forever part of our DNA and the essence of our marrow. We're going to be looking at things here and saying to ourselves, but I want this. And we're letting go of a curse. We're looking at this dusty old thing that has kept us held back. And we're saying, no, you don't. You don't get to rob me of my dreams and my joy. And then we have the Hermit. And this is Virgo energy. Now, we could be born on the cusp with Virgo, okay, or have strong Virgo in our chart. So just be, or just Virgo in our chart. It comes through very strongly, though. So just be aware of that during this time. We are turning inward. Are we going to want to turn inward? And no, not really. Not really. We have things to do and places to go. And it doesn't mean we're going to sit there, in the lotus position, waiting for enlightenment. We want to go and do. That's very much what a knight wants to do, right? It's action. It's action time. It's go follow what you love. Be Lancelot type of deal, except for the ending, because that was stinky. But, you don't want to end up in a monastery, but you want to go and have fun and do and explore and embrace the heart. So doing this is going to be very important for us. With the Hermit, look at what you love. Look at how it illuminates your existence. Turn inward. I always think of the Hermit as the magician after they've lived. After the magician has lived a bit in those beautiful purple robes where he's standing before the altar, claiming his gifts. And then that's card number 1, right? Card number 9 is those beautiful purple robes are tattered and worn. And he's seen things. And he's been through life. And it's like, man, can I tell you type of energy here. But there's a flexibility of mind. Did you ever notice, maybe it was just me, but I doubt I was that special, that when you're younger, it's also absolute. It's like, oh, if only people could see the truth, right? If only you could understand, then everything could be so much easier. But here, there's not that rigidity anymore. It's like, okay, there's more nuance to things. And we're looking at the nuance of things. We're looking at the nuance of ourselves. We're seeing ourselves in a new light, in a new way. And there's going to be a wisdom that comes to us. That wisdom usually only comes through age. It could also be that you've been through some stuff. So you might not have the years, but you've definitely had the experiences, right? And you're going to see that turning inward, it gives you wings. It has you looking at yourself and what you desire so differently than what you had thought of before. It moves us then to our spirit message. So if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a ring cloud in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on Sunday. So good luck to everyone, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when that announcement comes up. Angels, or when that, not announcement, that video comes up. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. This is wish reverse. Do we feel like we're getting our wishes? No. Do we feel overwhelmed within our wishes? Yes. Are we questioning what we're even wishing for and what we're going after? Yes, we are. So looking at this and saying, when you wish upon a star, and we could be thinking, but I don't know what I wish for. I don't know what I want anymore. Or we can say, like, I have it all. I'm pretty darn good. But here, it's that wish. It's a disconnect with what our soul is wishing for. So just be aware of that things feel a little bit more overwhelming because we might not be fully connecting with what our soul deeply wants. Because we can also think it's silly. It's like, oh, just kind of like buck it up and move it on type of thing. We could be saying to ourselves. And it's like, man, I don't want to. Like, I need to know what I'm wishing for because we're connecting with the Seven of Cups. We need to know what we're wishing for, what we desire. It brings us then to inner strength reversed. This is the solar plexus chakra. And so here, when we're looking inward, it's like, what is my inner strength? Do I have any inner strength? Like, we're questioning this. There's a blockage in our solar plexus chakra. But this is also us being reborn, entering into more of a sense of power within ourselves. That's going to be very important. And it brings us to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. This is Cernunnos. So what's very interesting with Cernunnos is the devil, right? In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And when the devil comes a knocking, right? It's never anything good. But this is just simply a chaos god. And the devil is a conglomeration of different pagan deities that were all chaos gods, all combined together to say, oh, well, that's the big baddie right over there. The big baddie doesn't have the order. The big baddie doesn't have the knowledge. This is chaos. And chaos just is. So looking at things and saying, okay, well, I might not be thinking of the consequences of my actions, right? That's a part of chaos, right? But it's the chaos that comes when you least think of it, when you least expect it, when you're going on your merry way one certain way, and life blindsides you the next. Cernunnos here is like, hey, listen, be mindful of your own fight with chaos, of the chaos that lives within each and every one of us, and how we want to obliterate the chaos and hold it down by absolute order. I always think of Cernunnos as like the gardener in Versailles, right? The gardener that has to make those perfect French gardens and vast French gardens where not a weed is out of place. It's not just one gardener, you have to have a huge team. But you can also have a garden of wildflowers. And you can let the weeds grow in those because they can be part of the charm. So here, it's how we learn how to live with the chaos within our lives. And it's not letting it rule us, right? It's not being taken down by the devil, but it is saying here, what is the chaos in my existence? How am I embracing it? How am I healing it? How am I moving forward with it? That's going to be important. Be mindful of addictions. Yeah, of course. Be mindful of the things that tempt us. Absolutely. Be mindful also of quick fixes and easy tests, easy things that it's like, oh, you just do this and everything will be solved. It's never quite that easy. So just be mindful of that with Cernunnos. There's always a bit of chaos, and you're always going to have to be weeding the garden in one way or another, right? So you can have the wildflower garden, or so you can have the beautifully, meticulously kept, and manicured gardens of Versailles. Rest. Know that you carry a lot. You do. You carry a lot. There's a lot of stress. You have your armor on, right? There's always a reason to need to be protected. We have our armor on even when we sleep. So you might wake up with your shoulders not feeling good, right? Your shoulders could hurt, your neck could hurt. You didn't relax. You can have, like, what is it, T-Rex arms while we sleep? Stress coming in. What do we need to release? Because when we sleep, we connect with our angels. And we need to relax enough to be able to have the dreams that our angels give us come forward and inspire us. Change your mind, change your life. You can't change the past as much as you want to. It's not going to be able to happen. Turn around, see the Two of Cups, see the healing, beautiful love. Let us move forward in love. We can use love as a weapon during this time. Just be mindful about this, or we can have love used as a weapon, around us. So be mindful about that. Raising above the chaos, saying, this is what I love. This is what I need. This is how my heart needs to move me forward. That's going to be important. We need to release all the muck and the mire that we've been carrying. There's going to be a strong sense of either I want to have a temper tantrum, right? Well, you're going to want to have a temper tantrum. You're just going to want to. Let yourself have a good cry. Let yourself scream into the pillow. Let yourself get mad and punch the punching bag, right? Let yourself release. However, physically you need to do that. Then with the 10 of Wands, know that it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be good enough. It's never going to be without its fingerprints. It's just going to have to be. It's a moment in time that you are encapsulating, that you are connecting with. Embrace that. Embrace that. However that means you're going to embrace it in your life. It's not going to be perfect. And that's okay. It's time to bring the dreams forward. It's time to connect with them. And the 5 of Pentacles, this is money or what we value as much as money. And it says, I can't have it. Stop it. Stop it. Because you can. There's something here that is saying you always have to be an outsider looking in. Stop it. Wealth is for what? For what? The people who are truly clever, the people who truly are blessed. What makes you think that's not you? It's never going to be perfect. And you know what? Sometimes close enough is good enough. I mean, if you're a medical doctor, maybe close enough isn't good enough and you want it to be perfect, then that's a good thing. I totally back that. But, in life, when we are creating, when we are cultivating, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's like an idea, right? It's like the idea of gravity, right? Scientists, right? The idea of medicine, like, the idea of, I wonder how I can heal this, or I wonder how I can do that. It's not perfect first. So I don't want you to think, oh, well, I am a doctor and it has to just be perfect, right? I have to be perfect above all others. No, you don't. I was joking. But here, it's like, I was thinking of the health regulations to things. You can't just say, oh, this works when it doesn't. That's why we have the health regulations. But here is a sense of like a curiosity that starts. It's not going to be perfect when you first start. But never starting because I'm not worthy, or somebody else is going to do it better, or I'm not that clever, I'm not that talented. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. You might be put on this earth to create something extraordinary, and we don't know how long we have. Some of us have beautifully long lives, and some of us don't. And I'm not saying that to get us sad or upset, but look at each day as a treasure. Be proud of it. And don't hold yourself back anymore. Because you are sacred and you are astounding. Turn inward. There's a flexibility to your spirit and to yourself that needs to shine. Let it shine. There's a light that's leading you forward. Let it be. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message, and this is the goddess energy. Embracing our sacred feminine, embracing women's work, embracing the different faces of goddesses throughout time and millennia. Well, that's not really millennia, but throughout time and ages. That would be super important. And that is super important. Is it millennia? I have to look up how long a millennia is. If you know, tell me down below. With the goddess, let it shine. Let the sacred feminine energy within you shine, moving you forward, opening up the doors. It brings us then to our energy, to our subconscious chakra message. And this is the soul stars chakra. This is soul's healing. The soul star chakra and soul's healing. There's a blockage because we carry a pain. We carry a hurt. And it's like, but I have to feel that pain all the time to be able to move forward just right, just so. and I don't want to heal. Because if I forget that pain, right, I forget what moves me forward. But I don't think that's true. I don't think you have to keep the splinter in your shoe, right, and always be stepping on it to be reminded that you don't like the splinter being in your shoe. Releasing the blockage in our soul star chakra, embracing our soul's healing. That's important. We don't have to carry the pain with us, right? It's like in medieval times where you would have people who wear the mohair shirts, and not in medieval times, recent times too. People who wear mohair shirts, like I always have to suffer, right? I always have to suffer. It's like, okay, but why? They're not. They're that could be that's varying degrees depending on how sensitive you are. That's varying degrees of awful. Why do we need that? The soul needs to heal. Why can't we embrace the beautiful as well as as the horrible or as the intense or as the overwhelming? It brings us then to our energy to be mindful of, and it's the Four of Wands reversed. This is a celebration that wasn't. This can be feeling uncertain. This can be saying, uncertain in job. This can be uncertain in home. This can be just uncertain with life in general. It's like I just feel uncertain. I feel overwhelmed. I don't feel like I'm celebrating what I should be celebrating. We can also not be meeting our, our time frame that we gave ourselves, probably around 15 years old when we said, oh, I want to do this, this, and this, or this is when everybody does it, and we're not showing ourselves kindness and respect for, the harshness of the world. So here, just be mindful about this. When we have to celebrate ourselves, that's also going to be very important. Libra, celebrate you. It brings us then to our energy to be mindful of, and this is not the mindful of, this is our energy from spirit, our subconscious energy, and we're letting go of having to fight all the time. The Seven of Wands is like your spirit energy is just like a fist, and it's overwhelming, and it's draining, and we're saying, I'm done with this. I'm done with this chaos. I need to embrace the power of me. All right, Libra, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Libra, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.